Well, happy Sunday.
What's going on, everybody?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. There we go. I see some people popping on here.
Folks. Good morning, Eddie Lee.
Eddie Lee, I want you to know we're excited and still celebrating your perfect attendance, Eddie Lee.
Every week.
Absolutely
What's up, bro?
incredible. For those of you that are watching that aren't from Alabama, we got a Roll Tide. So, Southern terminology, Doss, Roll Tide is a good for hello, goodbye, how you doing?
It's kind of like aloha in Hawaii.
Except in mom, all those things. It fits. So, good morning, Randy Dykes.
Doss needs a grown-up chair. There we go. Oh,
Karen, yeah, Doss needs a little help there.
There we go.
Good morning, everybody. So good to see you guys. There we go. Get him, Jen. Tell him about it. Hey, Doss, this is our very last pre-church hangout because next week at this time, we will be getting ready for church. We would just have ended our first experience 2 minutes ago.
Yep.
So I am excited to get back. It is going to be incredibly awesome. Yeah. Hey, I don't want to leave anybody out here and hurt any feelings. Randy Dykes gave a war eagle.
That's a little less prominent around Alabama, but it's still valid.
Yeah, I don't want to. I'm not. I don't really have a whole lot of passion about it either way. So,
right. Good morning, Nancy Koshat. Good to see you on here.
Nancy, I was thinking about you this week. I had you. I don't know why. I just had you on my mind this week, Nancy. But I'm so glad to see you this morning. Tuned in here, man. It's so good to see all of your names, and I love that I can see everybody's faces pop up. Your profile pictures are popping up here as you pop in. It's good to see everybody. Christy, Brian, I'm excited to see you guys when we get back to church in Columbiana. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be awesome. Hey, Bonnie, good to see you too. Not the 13th yet, Mike Smith, but we're talking about it. We're counting down. We're all so excited about it. As a matter of fact, Mike, we were all in students this past week on Wednesday night. It was our students' first night back to regular meeting, Doss, and we had a great night. We had student take over. And, man, our student ministry is just doing such a good job. So students are back on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock. Hangout at 6:30. And I don't think people realize, I just want to brag a little bit if I can, just on our students. Doss, it's hard during this season for us to stay connected. A lot of people just keeping our, we just feel so deep, it's kind of defragmented. Everybody's different places and in different things, but our students are just staying connected and hanging out in relationships and staying connected. And anytime they've done a few like hangouts for the kids, anytime they do it, all the kids are there and they're hanging out. And so just a big shout out to the parents for keeping them connected, to our student ministry for keeping them connected. Yeah. You guys are you're phenomenal and you're doing a great job. And so it just shows a lot about how much you care about the kids. And I think it's been really, really important for them during this season.
For sure.
So for anybody watching and you're wondering about student ministry and what's happening, because we'll talk about the weekend this morning too, but our students are back in full swing. And so definitely get them connected to student ministry on Wednesdays. I saw Jim and Linda Lawley on here. We love you guys. Good to see you on here this morning. Glad you guys are getting to tune in here. Jim Baggett, good to see you. We're still praying for Kathy. Kathy, if you're watching this morning too, we miss you guys. Lindsay Efferson from El Paso, Texas.
Juarez,
Mexico. So, Doss, it's been a fun week. Just a lot happening. It's really it's been wide open this week. I saw Patrick Young on here. Patrick is he's been wide open this week too, along with us. And so let's go ahead and just talk a little bit about just the week and what's been kind of behind us, and then we'll talk about what's coming ahead for the next few weeks. But one of the big things people have been asking about, texting about, and wondering is progress on the new Alabaster campus, the facility over there.
Yeah.
So give us a little update there.
So we finally officially received the final plans for the overall building of the space. That's between the Crunch Fitness that's coming to town also and our church. So we were able to begin the process of finalizing our plans for Cultivate Church. So we've gone through tons of drawing revisions, and I have spent more than my share of hours in front of a computer screen drawing lines and numbers.
Which everybody, let me just take a second and just give a little kudos to Doss over here. The guy is pretty good at design and like what would you call this, Doss? The design. I mean, I know it's the design phase, but like if you were doing AutoCAD or something, I mean, like
laying out. I can go into a kind of an empty space and kind of see what would be a good layout for a space or whatever.
Doss has the ability to walk in that building and see it as it is. I'll walk in that building and say, "Oh, this is a dump." I mean, I don't have that ability to see it the way he sees it. So Doss has done a good job of putting it together and making it a visual for us.
Yeah.
And then Patrick's taken that information and made it into sort of a reality state. Yep. And I'm just over here being like, "That's good. Nah, do something." You know, I'm just giving it opinions.
So we've gotten pretty much through a couple of just good solid days of drawing and revision and late nights of working all of that out to what we think is going to be a good final product of the layout of that facility. So we literally last night even were getting final, let's run with this. I think this is good. Through talking with lots of people and getting wisdom and getting the very possible, being able to squeeze every last inch out of the facility that we're going to be able to be in. We're ready, I think, to begin to move forward. So we are now waiting our final, what's going to be kind of like our final estimate for the build out with general contractors and architects and all of that, engineers, design engineers, because there's some things that have to be shifted and moved around because of weight structural loads and things like that. So we're getting all of that ready to go. We should begin seeing within the next week or two a construction fence going up around the facility as a whole, demolition beginning to take place.
Let's be clear on that too with everybody so that everybody understands. We keep waiting on that, like every week, the first of every week, we're looking for that because these are the communications that we're getting so that everybody knows we don't have any control of when that begins. That's not on our timeline. We can't make that happen or prevent that from happening. So in the partnership with the real estate company who now owns that facility, it is all being contracted through Crunch Fitness for them to orchestrate the demo that's going to happen in the building and the wall that is going to divide our spaces. Once they have that done, then we have full freedom to go at our pace as fast or as slow as needed to get on our side and do all that construction. So
yeah, that's correct.
We're continually waiting on that to take place. But in the meantime, doing exactly what Doss just said and getting the design. Doss, it was Tuesday we have selected a general contractor for the project. So we do have a general contractor ready to, he's been working on these plans all week. He's going to get us our overall estimate. We have a general estimate, but he's going to go and say, you've got
pretty much down
this many, studs, you got this much sheetrock, all that. This is kind of what it's going to cost. So,
So really what's ahead of us, we've got a couple of weeks worth of meetings yet with the city, with Alabaster municipality, so that we can make sure that code enforcement is taken care of, that the city has approved.
But we have taken that first step. Note that the general contractor did go to the city this week with our preliminary plans,
Yeah.
and had a preliminary revision on that with the city. So that was big. That was huge.
Yeah. So we've got, just design meetings, pre-design meetings, all of that's still coming. So hopefully by the time demo is complete and it is ready for us to take the reins on our side of the facility, we will be ready to go, having met all of the qualifications with the city and getting approved by them and all of that good stuff. So we're moving forward, man. I'm just super excited. I'm just pumped to get back to church, but I'm really excited about the future of what, just what the Lord's going to do through Cultivate Church in Shelby County and with the tools he's providing for us in Alabaster, in Columbiana, across the board.
So Patrick mentioned it. We're real excited. You guys will notice this week as you drive through Alabaster, we have a banner on the building.
Yep. It's awesome.
So you guys will be able to see that progress when you go by, because a lot of people, Doss, have been confused as to what's happening in the building with Crunch. They're like, I thought the church was going. And then some people are like, wait a minute, I thought Crunch was going. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, hey, what's the update on your building? It was somebody just from the community. And I said, well, we're working on it. I said, we should be. And I started, and they said, oh, I'm so glad. They said, I saw Crunch's banner and I thought you guys lost the building. So, just making sure that everybody knows what's happening there. And here's another thing real quick. And I want to talk about what's ahead. But Doss, give us a little idea of the benefits of this building. So we understand that a building is a building.
Sure.
But, we have been strapped for space since 2016.
Yeah.
And so it has been sort of a lid on what we can do. Obviously, Columbiana has helped tremendously in providing ministry for people that was in that community, back in the community. But we've still struggled with space here. So one thing that's huge is even our kids' facilities that are going to be in our kids' spaces, the environments there, and the size that we'll have. Tell us about what that looks like for families and kids.
Yeah. So just in general, the space in Alabaster, before we planted the Columbiana campus, we were averaging around 600 people on the weekends in Alabaster between 3 worship experiences, meaning we were literally, some of you, obviously, lots of you were a part of that season as well back in 2015 and 16 when that growth began to happen. And man, we were just placing people everywhere, kids everywhere. All 3 experiences were just packed to overflow. And so we planted Columbiana, and, we were actually able to, we broke 1,000 in attendance when we planted Columbiana, being able to increase the space to reach people. But many of you don't know this, but that really only alleviated a small amount of space for us. It made more room in the auditorium. We really never made room in our kids ministry. We were still always out of space in our kids ministry. So now in Alabaster, we are, with this new facility, we're going to have 300 square feet in each age range, in each classroom. We'll have more than enough space to house plenty of kids at that campus as it continues to grow. They're 3 times the size each room of what we had in Alabaster, or what we have right now. So it's going to provide. It's more secure in that area. It's going to provide way more opportunity just to continue to grow into what God's got for us as we increase in the next couple of years as a church.
Yeah, and here's another thing that I'm excited about in this process, Dawson. I feel like we've learned through this scenario by planting the church. It's hard to predict seasons of growth. You're constantly preparing for it. You're constantly working toward it. But 2016, we could not have predicted a 50% growth margin.
No, absolutely.
And an average every year since of at least 20%. Okay. So here's what we've learned in this process is that you do have to be ahead of the growth. You've got to be able to be providing space ahead of the growth to stay healthy without being bottlenecked, which is what we've done to this point.
Yeah.
So looking ahead, we are already preparing for our Columbiana campus. We recognize that we have a little bit of margin before we experience in Columbiana what we've experienced in Alabaster. So Columbiana campus, we want you to know that you're already a few steps ahead of where we were in Alabaster, because we're already making those preparations and already understanding the process better, because we've just experienced it through this season of Alabaster. So we just want you guys to know, be excited and look ahead, because we've got phase one. We're going to get Alabaster open, and then we're going to be start working diligently toward our plans for what that looks like for Columbiana. So
100%. So we have room to add a third experience in Columbiana, but pre-COVID, that was actually, we were on trend to be doing that.
Yeah.
End of this year. So we will grow and add another experience in Columbiana. But part of the giving campaign that we are rolling out over the next few weeks here is also preparing ourselves financially for that growth.
Yeah.
So that we're not bottlenecked. We just don't want to bottleneck again. So we're going to prepare ourselves for the growth in Columbiana, so that we already have the upfront capital to begin purchasing land, building a facility, making sure that we're able to grow and sustain the opportunities that the Lord gives us. So exciting times ahead, really. I'm really pumped about what God's doing. And all of this, listen, all of this, we all need to recognize a building's just a building. It's not an end all. It's a tool that God gives us to reach people with the gospel of Jesus Christ. So that's the reason. Why do you want to expand? Because we're always going to make room for one more person to know who Jesus is and the power of his resurrection in their life. So all of it, every bit of it, is forward thinking of how can we just reach one more person with the gospel in Shelby County.
Build a bigger table, always providing another chair.
100%.
So looking ahead, Sunday, September 13th, everybody, we are coming back together in person, and I'm so excited, both campuses. We do need to notate again, and please help us share the word. Somebody will show up. Because of just this COVID season, Alabaster 9 and 10:15, no 11:30.
Yeah.
We did this just for many reasons, many logistical reasons. We are working with our team. We're trying to make sure that everybody knows that we want you to return at your level of comfort. There's no rush. There's no pressure. And so that means, Doss, that some of our teams are smaller, some of our serve teams. Because of that, we're not asking everybody to come back regardless of how they feel or they're ready. So we're trying to accommodate our teams and make it easier on them. Also, in just the environment, the atmosphere, it's a little more electric when we're all in it together than when we're all spread apart a long way. So 9 o'clock, 10:15, we're going to provide those two options for both campuses. And then as the season begins to get back to, I hate to say it again, but normal. We've been doing this since March. We're looking for normal.
We settle into new, right? Yeah. The new season. As we learn to navigate this new season.
So as soon as it's necessary and needed, we will be back to 3 experiences as that is necessary. So we're just making those adjustments. So everybody, please be aware of that.
And there are opportunities for you to serve. We talked about it in the message last week. Like, you're never more like Jesus than when you're serving people. So there are just because maybe you're tuning in today and you're like, well, I'm not going to be there physically. So I'm just going to tune in. There's opportunities for you to serve physically and online. Maybe you've never been on a team. Listen, here's how easy it is. Today, you can log online right there, cultivatechurch.tv/roots-class. You can join a team today, and you can serve in a capacity right where you are. The Lord will meet you where you are and provide opportunities for you to serve others. Yep. So maybe you're coming back and you're going to be back physically. You need to be on a team. You need to be serving with someone. Maybe you're going to be tuning in online you're still gonna kind of ride that out for a while. That's fine. You still need to be on a team. You need to be serving with others. So log on today if you haven't already. Maybe you just need a refresher of what that looks like. It is so simple. You literally within an hour, you'll be able to contact and be a part of a team that you can serve others with. We're never more like Jesus than we're serving others. So there's no excuse. We need to be together.
This is actually a really good time, Doss, because in our first class, 1.0, we talk about your spiritual gifts and your personality. And after a season like this, when there is so much change, so much stress, pressure, all the different things, that's a great time to go back and see how you've grown and 100%. What's happened. And yes, Stacy heard, if Sundays don't work, student ministry is a possibility. You guys can serve on Wednesday nights with students. It is so much fun to serve there. Another thing, Doss, I'll say real quick that many people may not be aware of is that we have launched over the last few weeks, we have launched what we call Church Online. And I know that we stream on Facebook and YouTube every Sunday morning. But we have launched this portion of our website at the address below. And Doss, the cool thing about this is here's why we would really rather everybody view Church Online here and participate, because it's interactive. So let me explain. During church, if somebody would like to have prayer, if you want somebody to pray with you, if you have a guest that you invite to tune in and they just feel like we have people that are tuned into this behind the scenes that can pray with them live through chat, and it's private. You can enter a private chat right there from that website, watching the message, and there is somebody live that will pray with you. And I'll say this, if this is something that you would like to serve on, you can do this as well. Even from home, if you're not back to church, you can serve on this team while sitting in church physically and provide prayer for people for our Church Online experience. It's really incredible. The other cool thing about this, Doss, is that it's interactive. So when we talk about the Connect card, fill out your Connect card, it just pops up and gives you the option to click a button immediately and fill out the Connect card. When we give an opportunity for people to give their heart to Jesus, it literally gives an option right there for you to click, and somebody can say yes to Jesus, and we know about it. It's just as easy as clicking a button. And so it's really, really incredible. And we would love for people to be a part of this for Church Online. The other thing, Doss, that's really cool is every day, beginning at 8 a.m., the message replays live from the weekend every 2 hours throughout the entire day. So every 2 hours, the message is playing, and people can chat together. You can chat right there on there, just like you do on Facebook.
Request prayer, all of those things.
All those things. So it's really incredible. So you guys check out Church Online.
And of course, it's still available on demand. You can still go to the website on demand if you don't
on demand on the website, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, you name it, you can get it anywhere. On our church app, you have access on demand to all of our content. So just make sure that you guys are taking advantage of all of the ways to connect with Cultivate Church.
100%.
So, well, Doss, I'm excited. Today begins a new series, the 800-pound gorilla. And it's really going to be an incredible series because we're talking about some really difficult subjects, some things that are happening all around us that we know are kind of difficult to deal with. It's the statement, the 800-pound gorilla in the room. It's like the statement, the elephant in the room, but the differences in the definitions of these is the elephant is just that thing that's over there that we all see it. The gorilla in the room it's powerful, it's strong, it's intimidating, it has control. And so the differences in those is we're talking about some tough stuff that's powerful, that's controlling, that's intimidating, that's scary. So we're going to be breaking some stuff down all this month, and I'm excited about starting that series today.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. 3 weeks, right? Over the next 3 weeks, we're going to be tackling some pretty hefty things, as if 2020 hasn't been heavy, right? There's an almost unlimited amount of topics that we can cover. in this series over the next 3 weeks. So.
And what's so crazy, Dawson, I'm so amazed at the Lord always. This series, we sat down in a room with about 6 people on our creative team, and back in October of 2019, and began to pray, and you and I had already gotten together, prayed through the series, and then we brought these to our team and put some legs to it. And so this series has been waiting on us since 2019, and here we are, nearly a year later to our planning, and it is more relevant now than when we began this process. So God knows what He's doing.
Absolutely.
So, well, hey, look, everybody, the countdown on Facebook has begun. If you're watching on Facebook, if you are tuning in to YouTube, it'll hit live at 10:30. At Church Online, it will hit live at 10:30. So we'll all be in sync together and having a good morning at Church Online. So please participate, share, comment during the message. If you need prayer, there's a link there for you to receive prayer. Send those in, fill out your Connect card, do all the things. But I hope that you're encouraged and inspired by today's message. It's a tough one. It's a strong message today that is meant to challenge and convict and to realign us. So just get ready for it. I pray that the Lord speaks to you today, and I'm excited about the next few weeks and seeing everybody next week, Doss.
Can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
All right. We love you guys. Y'all have a great week. We'll see you online in a few minutes.